Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real today. Success. Everybody wants it. Everybody talks about it. But let me tell you something. Success ain't for the weak. It's not for the lazy. It's not for the ones looking for a shortcut. Success demands sacrifice. That's the truth a lot of people don't want to hear. Everybody loves the idea of success, the money, the recognition, the lifestyle, but very few are willing to pay the price it takes to get there. And make no mistake, success has a price. It will cost you something. If you're not ready to give up certain comforts, certain habits, or even certain people, then you're not really ready for success. The first thing success will take from you is your time. There are only 24 hours in a day, and if you spend most of them scrolling through social media, watching TV, or hanging out doing nothing productive, then you're wasting time that could be spent building your future. Successful people don't have more time than you. They just use their time differently. They wake up early, they stay up late, and they make every hour count. They don't waste time on things that don't bring them closer to their goals. If you're serious about success, you have to ask yourself, how am I spending my time? Because the truth is, success requires you to give up time-wasting habits and replace them with actions that push you forward. Success will also demand that you step outside of your comfort zone. A lot of people stay stuck because they're afraid to take risks. They want everything to be safe, predictable, and easy. But success doesn't live in the comfort zone. It lives on the other side of fear. That means you're going to have to do things that scare you. You're going to have to try things you've never tried before. You're going to have to take risks. And sometimes those risks won't pay off immediately. Sometimes you'll fail, sometimes you'll lose money, sometimes you'll look foolish. But that's the price. If you want to stay in your little bubble where everything feels safe, then stay there. But understand that success doesn't visit people who refuse to take risks. You're also going to have to give up the idea of instant gratification. We live in a world where people want everything right now. Fast food, fast money, fast success. But that's not how real success works. It takes time. It takes years of effort that nobody will see. It takes long nights and early mornings. It takes grinding when you don't feel like it, when nobody is clapping for you, when it seems like nothing is working. And that's where most people give up. They don't want to wait. They don't want to struggle. They want to skip the process and jump straight to the reward. But it doesn't work like that. Success is a slow process. And if you're not willing to commit to it for the long haul, you'll never see the results you want. And let's talk about relationships. When you start chasing success, you will lose people. Not everybody in your life is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people will doubt you. Some people will tell you you're crazy. Some people will get jealous. And some will just drift away because they no longer understand the person you're becoming. That's part of the process. Success forces you to surround yourself with like-minded people, people who push you, challenge you, and inspire you, but that also means letting go of relationships that are holding you back. It doesn't mean you stop loving people, but you can't let them keep you stuck. If you spend all your time around small-minded, negative people, you will never reach the level of success you're capable of. The biggest sacrifice you'll have to make is your old self. The person you are today is not the person who will achieve the success you dream about. You will have to evolve. You will have to change your mindset, your habits, and your daily routines. You will have to let go of self-doubt, laziness, and excuses. You will have to push yourself harder than ever before, because success isn't something you get, it's something you become. And becoming successful means sacrificing the old version of you that was okay with being average. Failure is inevitable. No matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how hard you work, you are going to fail at some point. That's the part of success that most people don't talk about. They show you the trophies, the highlights, the big moments, but they don't show you the sleepless nights, the rejection, the losses, the moments when everything felt like it was falling apart. And that's why so many people quit. They think failure means they're not good enough. They take it personally. They let it crush them instead of using it to build them. But if you're serious about success, You need to change the way you see failure. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The problem is that most people have been taught to fear failure. Since childhood, we've been told that failing is bad, that mistakes are embarrassing, that messing up means we're not capable. But that's a lie. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than the average person has even tried. Every great entrepreneur, every great athlete, every great artist has a story of failure that almost broke them. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They understood that failure is just feedback. It's life telling you what's working and what's not. It's teaching you lessons that you wouldn't learn any other way. And if you quit every time you fail, you will never reach your full potential. One of the biggest reasons people fear failure is because they care too much about what other people think. They're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of being judged. They don't want people to see them fall. But here's the truth. Nobody who is truly successful is laughing at you for failing. The only people who judge failure are the ones who are too scared to even try. The ones sitting on the sidelines, playing it safe, never stepping out of their comfort zones. Meanwhile, the real winners, the real go-getters, they know what it's like to fail. They respect the grind. They respect the hustle. They know that every failure is just a stepping stone to success. Failure is also the best teacher you will ever have. You can read all the books, watch all the motivational videos, listen to all the success stories, but until you experience failure for yourself, you won't truly understand what it takes to win. Because success is not about getting everything right the first time. It's about learning, adjusting, and growing. It's about taking the lessons from your failures and using them to come back stronger. Every time you fail, you gain something valuable. Experience, resilience, wisdom. These are things you can't buy, you can't fake, you can't skip over. They have to be earned. And the only way to earn them is by going through failure. The most dangerous thing about failure is not the failure itself, it's how you respond to it. Some people let failure define them. They take one loss and decide they're not good enough. They let the disappointment eat. Not everyone can come with you. When you start chasing success, you're going to notice something. People around you will start acting differently. Some will support you, some will doubt you, and some will even try to pull you back. And the hardest truth you'll have to accept is that not everybody is meant to be part of your journey. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to bring everyone with them. They feel guilty about outgrowing certain relationships. They feel like they owe it to their friends, their family, or their community to stay the same person they've always been. But success requires growth, and growth means change. You cannot become the best version of yourself while surrounding yourself with people who are stuck in the same old pattern. You have to make a choice. Hold on to people who are keeping you comfortable, or step into the life you were meant to live. Some of the people closest to you will not understand your ambition. They will question why you're working so hard. They will make comments like, "Why don't you just relax?" Or "You've changed." And they'll say it like it's a bad thing. But that's what success does. It changes you. It forces you to evolve, to level up, to see the world differently. And when you change, it makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to look at themselves. Some of them will feel left behind. Some will feel threatened. And some will try to keep you from moving forward, not because they hate you, but because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. You will have to learn how to recognize the difference between people who truly support you and people who just tolerate you. Some people will act like they're in your corner, but deep down, they don't want to see you win. They'll pretend to cheer for you, but the moment you start succeeding, you'll notice their energy shift. They'll stop clapping. They'll start making sarcastic comments. They'll downplay your achievements. And if you're not careful, their negativity will plant seeds of doubt in your mind. One of the hardest things about success is realizing that some friendships, some relationships, and even some family bonds will never be the same. You will have to distance yourself from people who no longer align with your vision. That doesn't mean you don't love them, but you can't allow them to hold you back. If someone is constantly negative, constantly doubting you, constantly making you feel guilty for wanting more out of life, you need to create space, because your environment matters. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or pull you down. On the other hand, you will also meet new people, people who inspire you, people who challenge you, people who push you to think bigger. These are the relationships that will help you grow. But in order to make room for them, you have to be willing to let go of the ones that are no longer serving you. It's not about being cold or heartless. It's about protecting your energy, your vision, and your future. At some point, you have to stop explaining yourself to people who don't get it. You don't owe anyone an apology for wanting more out of life. You don't have to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. The people who truly belong in your life will support your growth. The ones who don't were never meant to come with you. Grit over talent. A lot of people think success is about being the most talented, the smartest, or the most gifted. They believe that people who make it to the top were just born with something special that others don't have. But the truth is, talent alone doesn't guarantee success. There are millions of talented people in this world who never reach their full potential because they don't have the one thing that truly separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Grit. Grit is that inner drive, that determination, that refusal to quit no matter what. It's what keeps you going when you feel like giving up. It's what pushes you to show up even on the days when you don't feel like it. It's what makes you keep fighting when everything seems to be working against you. Talent is a gift, but grit is a choice. And the people who succeed in life are the ones who choose to keep going, no matter how many obstacles they face. The problem with relying on talent alone is that talent can make you lazy. When things come easy, you don't develop the work ethic that success requires. You assume that because you're good at something, you don't have to work as hard as everyone else. And that mindset is exactly why so many talented people fail. They get comfortable. They stop pushing themselves. They expect things to happen just because they're gifted. But life doesn't work like that. Hard work beats talent every single time when talent refuses to work hard. Grit means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means putting in the hours when nobody is watching. It means staying late, waking up early, and doing whatever it takes to improve. It means embracing the struggle instead of avoiding it. Because the truth is, success is not built on comfort. It's built on perseverance, on discipline, on pushing through the days when you're tired, frustrated, or unsure of yourself. Grit is also about how you handle failure. Most people let failure break them. They take one loss and decide it's over. They let rejection or disappointment make them quit. But people with grit don't see failure as the end. They see it as part of the journey. They learn from it, adjust, and come back stronger. They don't let setbacks define them, because they know that the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Having grit means being willing to do the work that others won't. It means being the last one in the gym, the first one in the office, the person who studies a little longer, works a little harder, and refuses to settle for being average. It's about having the discipline to keep going when motivation fades, because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. But discipline, that's what separates winners from everyone else. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or for someone to recognize their talent. But the ones who truly succeed don't wait for anything. They create their own opportunities. They take action even when they don't feel ready. They keep pushing even when nobody believes in them. They refuse to be outworked. The truth is, talent might open a door for you, but only grit will keep you in the room. You don't have to be the most talented person in the world, but if you have the determination to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep improving, nothing can stop you. The ones who win in life aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones who simply refuse to quit. Success won't find you. Too many people sit around waiting for the right opportunity, the perfect moment, or some lucky break to change their lives. They think if they just wait long enough, something will come along and make everything fall into place. But that's not how success works. Success does not knock on your door. It does not show up uninvited. It does not randomly pick people. Success goes to those who chase it, who hunt it down, who put in the work day after day, even when they don't see immediate results. One of the biggest lies people believe is that they need permission to go after what they want. They wait for someone to tell them they're good enough, that they're ready, that now is the right time. But the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you success. If you want it, you have to take it. You have to stop waiting and start doing. The people who achieve great things in life are not the ones who sat around hoping for an opportunity. They are the ones who created their own. A lot of people get stuck in the mindset of waiting because they're afraid to fail. They think, what if I try and it doesn't work? Or what if people judge me? But the real question is, what happens if you don't try at all? Nothing. Nothing changes. Nothing improves. You stay exactly where you are. And that's the biggest risk of all. You cannot let fear keep you from taking action. You have to understand that failure is just part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed probably more times than you can count. The difference is they didn't let that stop them. There are people out there right now with half your talent, half your intelligence, but they are winning because they took action. They didn't wait to feel ready. They didn't sit around making excuses. They got up and made things happen. The truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. There will always be doubts, always be challenges, always be reasons to wait. But waiting does not get you closer to your dreams. Action does. Some people spend their entire lives planning, but never executing. They have big dreams, big ideas, but they never take that first step. They talk about what they're going to do someday, but someday never comes. The difference between people who succeed and people who don't is simple. Successful people take action now. They don't wait for the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, or the perfect opportunity. They start where they are with what they have, and they figure the rest out along the way. Success is about momentum. The more action you take, the more doors start to open. You might not see results right away, but every step you take moves you closer. Every lesson you learn makes you better. Every failure teaches you something valuable. But none of that happens if you don't start. You can't expect success to come find you while you sit on the couch thinking about it. You have to move. You have to put in the work. The truth is, life does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who hustle. It rewards those who show up every single day, who grind when nobody is watching, who keep pushing even when they don't feel like it. If you want something, go get it. Nobody is coming to give it to you. Nobody is going to do it for you. The only person responsible for your success is you. Rejection and criticism are part of the journey. No matter what you do in life, no matter how hard you work, no matter how good you are at something, there will always be people who doubt you, criticize you, and try to tear you down. Some people will tell you that you're not good enough. Some will say your dreams are unrealistic. Some will laugh at your ambition. And if you're not careful, you'll start to believe them. You'll let their words get inside your head. You'll start questioning yourself, hesitating, holding back. But the truth is, if you want to succeed, you have to learn how to deal with rejection and criticism without letting it break you. Most people fear rejection so much that they never even try. They'd rather stay in their comfort zone than risk hearing a no. They'd rather blend in than risk standing out and being judged. But that kind of thinking will keep you stuck. Every successful person you admire has faced rejection over and over again. They've been told no more times than they can count. They've been ignored, dismissed, and criticized, but instead of letting that stop them, they use it as fuel to keep going. They understood that rejection is not a sign to quit. It's a test to see how bad you really want it. The truth is, most of the people who criticize you are not doing it because they genuinely want to help you. They're doing it because they don't believe in themselves, so they don't want to see you believe in yourself. They're afraid to chase their own dreams, so they try to convince you that yours are impossible. They're stuck in their own limited mindset, so they want to drag you down to their level. And if you're not strong enough, you'll let them. You'll let their negativity shape your decisions. You'll let their doubt kill your confidence. Rejection is not failure. It's just part of the process. If you apply for a job and don't get it, that doesn't mean you're not qualified. It just means that wasn't the right opportunity. If you pitch an idea and someone says no, that doesn't mean your idea is worthless. It just means you need to find the right person who sees its value. If you put yourself out there and people don't support you, that doesn't mean you should stop. It just means you need to keep pushing until you find the right audience. Every rejection is simply redirection. It's pointing you towards something better, something that aligns with your purpose, something that is meant for you. Criticism is also something you have to learn to handle. There will always be people who have something negative to say, no matter what you do. If you play it safe and do nothing, they'll criticize you for being lazy. If you chase your dreams and take risks, they'll criticize you for being unrealistic. You cannot live your life based on other people's opinions because their opinions will change, but your vision has to stay strong. The key is learning how to separate useful criticism from useless negativity. Some feedback is valuable. It can help you grow, improve, and get better. But some criticism is just noise. It comes from people who don't understand your journey, people who have never built anything, people who sit on the sidelines and judge instead of taking action themselves. You have to be smart enough to know the difference. Listen to the advice that helps you improve, but ignore the negativity that's meant to bring you down. Most people quit at the first sign of rejection or criticism because they take it personally. They think it means they're not good enough. But rejection is not personal. It's part of the price you pay for success. The sooner you learn to embrace it, the sooner you realize that it's not something to fear, but something to push through. The ones who win in life are not the ones who never get rejected or criticized. They're the ones who refuse to let it stop them.